Y'all, story time. So I'm back to wearing my mask because I've been coughing a little bit, and I went to a graduation, so I don't know if that's COVID, regular cold, whatever. So at least I don't look crazy putting it on because it's reality now that this is the world we live in. But it's Friday. Friday is our story time, y'all. We gotta share the things that we have been through so that we can all relate, and then try to debunk everything that was happening to us so that we can come to the conclusion that all our life we've been targeted. So as a kid, do you guys remember being in school, such as elementary school, and the teachers would call you out of your classroom to come sit in a whole nother class with a whole bunch of like other kids where it's like only 5 or 6 of you guys, and they will make you do repeated tests, and they told your parents because you needed extra help, but you was passing all your classes and your parents fell for it? That was me. I was that kid. So let me tell you, when I was growing up, I can't remember everything, but I was sitting there like, dang, was I a case study half of my life? I remember, excuse me, when I stumble over my words, I talk fast, I need to try to pronunciate. I remember when I was like in elementary school, I can't remember the grade. Because if I remember it, it gotta be something that excuse me, the thing fell. Something that was like third, second grade or beyond. Some people remember stuff in kindergarten, but long story short. So I remember being called out of class, and I had to go to class, but they was making me do a lot of psychological testing. And I never went home and told my mom because they made it normal for us to be doing this, but it was always like a group of us, only like 5 or 6 kids in this one little bungalow class that was separated from the rest of the kids. And they would call me out of class and I would come do it. And then I would sit in that class for one period. And then I remember they putting me in gate. I remember them putting me in, it was this other thing, oh my God, where I had to take like college course classes when I got in high school, and I didn't like doing it. I was like, why am I doing this, right? But back to elementary school, they used to give me like, have you ever seen the butterfly effect in psychology movies where they show like pictures of images and you got to tell them what it was? And they'll do stuff like that with me as a kid. Like the lady would pull up these weird looking pictures and say, what do you see in the picture? Do you see a face? Do you see a butterfly? Do you see more? Like stuff like that. Then I remember taking like these, it was a test that was on yellow cards, and it was to ask me like IQ questions pertaining to my IQ. And I remember it was like on a yellow piece of paper, and it had a whole bunch of like just questions. And my mom and them said back in the day they was denying people give African American IQ tests, and I would come home and tell her like, I think they gave me an IQ test because they would ask me certain questions like with other kids pertaining into it. And I was just like, this is weird, but my mom had never thought nothing about it. And I remember they try to do that to my youngest son as well. Like my youngest son, the psychologist asked, can he be seen by him? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Okay. And but then I stopped the services. Somebody said, just stop it. I remember my oldest son, there was this hospital who wanted to run tests on him just to see how his brain was developing. I remember I said, yeah. Okay, then it was like, well, y'all can live in a Ronald McDonald house and everything. So a lot of us are just handpicked to be case studies, and the case studies you turn into being gangsta because they want to study you so much they gotta have people following you around. So that's the crazy part. So do y'all remember stuff like that? Try to think back. Like as a kid, was you being pulled out of class and asked to do certain things? It was just weird because my oldest son, they wanted to study him so bad because at this time ADHD and all that stuff was just coming out, and they was trying to say that's what he had. They was trying to pay me to use him as a case study and run tests on his brain. Okay, and I was like, first my mom was like, yeah, because you can know what's going on with him because something ain't right. Then something told I started letting them do it, and they couldn't sedate him. They was trying to put him in like to sedate him to do the MRI because he was so young he wouldn't sit still. Then all of a sudden he wouldn't fall asleep. He was so amped that whatever it was sedating him, he wouldn't take. He still was just up running around. But nowadays, I be thinking they be doing stuff to your kids at birth and then trying to follow the study. Because my son, even for his circumcision, he was the first one to get this plastic ring circumcision. Talking about this is a new study. Can we try it on him? So, you know, most kids get cut. He didn't get cut. He got this ring placed on his, situation and to make the skin fall off. So it's a lot, you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. That just dawned on me in my story time. Can y'all take a trip to the past and see if that happened to you too? Because we may be in case studies, or we are case studies. That's why we're targeted. But the stuff that comes with it, the harassment and stuff like that, I don't know what that's all about. That can be something, another psychological test to see how far. Because I know when I went to psychology, I took my psychology courses in college. There was just a lot of experiments saying, can anybody be turned to evil? Where they would take regular good people and put them in jail, and while they was in jail, they would do horrible things to them to see if this good person can be pushed to kill. Crazy stuff like that. But they like playing games like that with people. Talk to you guys soon.